Doesn't that sound crazy? It was just too much. Time that we get to the bottom of this. No more hiding, no more cover-ups. It's time to solve this. What is up, y'all? What is poppin'? It's been a little minute. I'm so happy to be recording a video for you guys today. I'm starting off really mellow, but this topic is going to be crazy. I'm actually going to be talking with my sister, B. Octavia, about this very topic together. As you guys know, I've told you, I don't think I said anything. I'm gonna just keep it on the low for right now. But yes, I am going to be talking with B. Octavia about this very topic because she experienced it with me, so we'll get both of our point of views out there. As you can see by the title, I have a lot to say. I'm starting off with some coffee, so you know it's going to be good. That's what I do, you feel me? To all my loyal subscribers, welcome back to my channel. To all the new people watching this video, hello. It's nice to meet you guys. I'm Ombre Alerts. I'm here telling you what it is and what it ain't. We got some good stuff to talk about in this video, okay? And I think it's because a lot of people experience the drama of 9 to 5, but I don't think you've ever experienced it like this unless you work for this company. So we're gonna get into the video right now. As you can see, I hope this goes viral because I feel like this company needs to be put on blast. Everything that has happened, I feel like there's no way I can't talk about it. Like, y'all know how I am on this channel. I really don't give a fuck. Like, I mean that by saying that you can't get away with treating people poorly. So with all that being said, let's just get straight into it. You know what to do. Make sure you like, subscribe to this channel. We're almost at 700. It's been a long road, but it's because of my lack of consistency. It's taken a little while. I still really have a lot of goals for us to reach 1,000 subscribers. So let's just keep it up and let's just do this, okay? Before we get into the video, I definitely want to say that I want to do a lot more realistic topics like this because it's easier for me. It's right up my alley. Not to say that my other content isn't, but I'm in the present now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my topics are about like the past, and I want to talk about more present day issues. So hold me accountable, and if you got any suggestions, just leave them in the comments and we'll talk about it. All right, let me take a sip of coffee. Okay, so as you can see by the title, I was suspended from my job. Today is November the 25th. I was officially terminated from the company on the 14th of, the 14th of November, but my last day of work was, I believe, the 13th. So yes, my last official day with Francescas, that's the company we're talking about. Cause I was on the fence. I was like, do I say their name in this video? Yeah, I'ma just do it. I'ma just say it. Because I'm tired of, one thing I'm tired of is like protecting these corporations from backlash. I don't think that's my intention, is to protect them from it. But at this point, I feel like I need to use my voice for good. And I feel like a lot of people have a similar experience as me and have had similar experiences as me with this specific company, because this company is so different from any other retail place you work at. I of course, at the time, I just wanted to keep my job private, so I never said exactly where I worked at. But it was giving retail, it was giving clothing store, whatever the case may be. But just a little backstory. The backstory is, this might have to be a part 1 and a part 2, child. I started working at Francescas a year ago in August. I was officially hired in August. I had left my then 9 to 5 job. I was working in Macy's at a Starbucks, and I would make this guy's drink every day. This specific person, I would make his drink every day. Well, maybe not every day, but every other day I would make his drink. And he started talking to me slowly but surely. And I think he just liked my vibe like a lot of people do. So he would only come when he knew I was there. I didn't think he worked in the mall or anything, but he would always end up being there when I was there. I would make his drink, you know. As time went on with the job that I had then, I was unhappy with it. It was just a lot of like, I felt like it was a personal like vendetta against me. I think I had worked at my previous job for like a year, and we were under new management, and the manager, I was a manager at the time at my job, and she was the store manager. So I was a shift manager, she was the store manager. And we didn't have any other shift managers but me. So I was the only shift manager. So I was in charge of like training and, you know, development and, you know, doing things for the store, doing, you know, orders for the store, shit like that. And she just didn't want to work with me. Like, she just felt like I was beneath her, and like I just had to do exactly what she said, and it just didn't feel like a management team. I would implement things that I think we should do. Like, for example, I would tell her like, hey, like, we're getting a lot of customer complaints from the girls that work in the morning. When I come in, I work at night, so I'm getting a lot of complaints that happened earlier. I'm fixing a lot of drinks that happened earlier because of lack of customer service. And maybe, you know, you're here in the morning, so I just want you to know like that these things are happening while you're here, so that we can work together on fixing it. She wouldn't want to hear it. She'd be like, I don't know, people like the drinks when I'm there, blah blah blah. So she was just like in denial. The week that we were going to have a store meeting, I was going to quit right then and there. I had already planned it, and I had ended up quitting on, I believe, the 21st of August, which was the anniversary of my car accident. Which I thought was just, you know, everything happens for a reason. So I ended up quitting that day. And I feel like the days before, I had saw the guy that I was telling you guys about, and he was like, oh, I was looking for you. And this is previous to the fact that a lot of people in the mall were trying to recruit me to work there. And I was like, no, I don't know about that, blah, blah, blah. So people, I'm used to people trying to recruit me for jobs, but I'm very loyal at the end of the day, and I have a bad habit of overstaying my welcome, and you'll see that throughout this story time. Like, he was just like, yo, like, I was looking for you, but I thought you quit, and I was like, well, I'm actually about to. This was before I had actually quit, so I was like, actually, I'm about to quit, so what's up? And he was like, look, I got this opportunity for you if you want to continue management. It's a key holder position at a store called Francescas. I had never heard of it before. He was explaining it to me like it's a Walmart type of vibe. Like, I was like, Walmart? Like, it was just weird sounding, but I was just like, okay. He was just like, it's a lot of stuff there. It's a lot of like girly stuff there. You'll like it. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, he was like, if you come upstairs and, you know, it's upstairs, you can find me and then we can set up an interview, whatever the case may be. I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, sounds good. So when I ended up like quitting, I had clocked in for work that day. So I literally had quit like the day that I was working, and it was so toxic that it was just a whole shit show. Like, I had just quit that day. I was like, I'm out of here, peace, like, good luck. It was around like August, like I said, so it was right before the holidays. If you ever worked at Starbucks, any Starbucks, then you already know the holiday season, you need as many people as you can get. So if you lose one of your shift managers or managers in general, they take up a lot of the hours. So it's a lot of bodies that you need, and if you don't have that help, like, you're screwed. So I had left right then and there on the spot, and, you know, last year I was in a different headspace, so I was like, I need to find a job now. So I literally quit that job, went around the store. I went around the Macy's to all the people that fucked with me, and I got as many references as I could, and then I started going and looking for a job. So I stopped at this one store. I was like, I don't really like it that much, but I had a lady that worked at the Mac counter that really liked me. And Yvette, if you watching this, hey girl, I miss her so much. I might end up working back in that area, but I don't want to go back to work. But anyway, we'll get to that. I thought about me talking to the guy, and that he told me to come up for an interview. So I went right up there and found where it was, and we set up a date for the interview, and then I left the mall. And then when I came back to the mall, I came for the interview, and we did the interview. And if you know Francescas, you do an interview, and then they like kind of ask you to do like a, I don't know, like a like picking an outfit. Like they'll give you a scenario, and you'll have to go around the store and find all the items to fit the scenario. Because it's a boutique, so it's like a lot of, you know, wedding attire type situations. There's jewelry there, there's hair accessories, there's handbags, there's hats, there's a lot of stuff in the store. This store was really small in particular, but it was boutique style, so I thought it was cool. And you know, I'm a lover of fashion. I have a passion for fashion. The brand is like Houston, Texas, so it's not really my vibe. So it was hard for me in the beginning to really, you know, get in where I fit in. Just coming from like food service, so I wasn't used to wearing dresses or skirts or anything like that. Need I mind you, I literally probably manifested this job because I was saying like I want something that I can dress cute. Like I always was on the train getting to work, so I always saw ladies like wearing dresses and stuff, and I was like, I'm getting older, I don't want to like just wear sporty clothes to work all the time, and I'm tired of that. I'm tired of wearing jeans all the time. I'm tired of wearing athletic clothes. I want to be cute, wear blouses and stuff like that, and not be afraid of that. So, I mean, the job just fit. At the time, it felt great. Like, you know, I did the interview. The interview process was really fucking long. Like, I don't think I ever did like a 2-part interview. So it was just throwing me off. I'm gonna just be real. Like, I thought the guy liked me, so I was confused. He didn't call me back right after the interview. So, and need I mind you, the interview was like 2 hours. So I was just like, damn. This is a long ass interview for me to be somebody that you actually wanted to work here. I don't feel like it. But it was a long interview, and then he waited like a couple of days to call me, and he told me he told me at that time of the interview that it was gonna be another part to the interview. And it was gonna be like a phone call. So I had a phone call with the district manager, and it was a good phone call. And that didn't last very long, so it was cool. And then I want to say a day later, he offered me the position at $16, and I was like, no. I was like, no. I was like, And he was like, well, that's all I could offer you. And I was like, well, I'm not, I live in DC, like, I can't come all the way out to here and get paid less than I was getting paid at my last job. And I got $17.50 at my last job. So I was like, if you could match my pay, you know, then I'll come. Like, I need 17 at least. So we ended at 17, and I started working at Francescas. And in the beginning, you know, I was just getting in there, figuring everything out. Most of the days I just was filling out, I took hella notes in the beginning because it was completely different from what I was used to. Like, I had to focus on sales goals and all these things, and UPT and average traffic and average transaction. And it took me a little while to get the hang of it because I wasn't used to that, okay? And I started as a sales lead, and sales leads are basically key holders, and then you're a part of management as well. So you have to be sales focused and customer driven and all those things. So it was really about like increasing, the amount of, conversion, basically making sure that everyone leaves with a bag, making sure everyone leaves with something in their hand. Yeah, it was hard because the store was so small and I didn't want to be in people's way. And people in that particular mall were very like fake bougie. So they were a little like nice, nasty, or just, no, they were just nasty, period. They were just nasty. People in this specific mall, they didn't like to be talked to too long, you know what I'm saying? They come in with their headphones, they just want to do what they do, whatever. It's very dismissive culture. Then I'm out of my element. I'm used to people walking up to me, asking me what they want when you're in food service. So me switching to retail, it was hard. So I worked at this specific store for, I want to say maybe 3 weeks, so maybe a month. I was hired at the end of August, but I did the whole September at this store, and then my store manager was getting transferred to another location, and he asked me if I wanted to come with him. So he was like, I want to take you with me. Like, I know you'd be good at this store, but I want you to come work there for 2 days and see how you like it. So I did that and I liked it. I liked it a lot better. It was a bigger store. It was a lot more clothes. It was a lot more to choose from. It was more open. Like, I felt like if I could help somebody, I could really take the time and help, you know what I mean? I could approach somebody a little bit easier than trying to approach them in a smaller store. After I worked there for 2 days, first of all, I worked there. On my first day, I noticed some things. I noticed that there was only one other person. I was confused because I was just like, where is everybody? Like, is it just us here? There was only one girl there, and she was like a teenager. So I was just like, okay. She was really nice and really cute, and it was things that she was teaching me that I hadn't learned before. At that time, I didn't really know how to ring. No, I think I rung maybe a few times. Yeah, so within a month, I didn't really know much. I didn't know how to do returns. I only rung someone up maybe once or twice because there wasn't really many customers at all. So I think I was just learning how to do shipment and things like that. When I worked the 2 days, I think that's when I started to realize, that this store was big and that it lacked a lot. At this different place, we had a different store connected to the company. So it was a kid's store, that was under the same umbrella. First started at this new location, they had asked me, my store manager called me and asked me, hey, this store doesn't have a manager. It's in the same place, in the same area. Can you open both? Can you open and close both stores? So this is my new job, so I'm not gonna say no. So I was just like, yeah, sure I can, even though I was like, what? I was thinking about it like, what? What do you mean this other location doesn't have a store manager? Quickly learned, it was weird. It was like I never had a job like that. I never had a job that had asked so much of me so soon. I never got transferred so fast. And I'm used to working at Starbucks. When I worked at Starbucks, I would work at other stores. So I'm used to moving around, but I didn't like that. At this store, it didn't make sense. So I was doing that every day. I would open one store, run around a corner, open the other store, come back. Then the person that's supposed to work at the other store is supposed to meet me at my store, and then I'm supposed to go back, let her in. It was just too much. It was too much already. But I was doing it. And I wanted to prove myself. I was so happy to get out of food service that I wanted to prove myself so bad. And, I'm fashion girl. You know, I went to fashion school. I sketch fashion designs, not as much as I used to, but fashion is just like in me. Like I can pick an outfit like that. So I was just like, I just want to prove myself. I want to prove to them that they made a good decision hiring me. So I started doing that. I should have known things were different because when he asked me to work those 2 days, he never said he wasn't going to be there. He never said he wasn't going to be there. And so I think the first official day, I was by myself and I had to open the store. And he would ask me like really condescending questions like, is the store open? And I'd be like, yeah, the store is open. Like, he just was an a-hole, to be honest. But I didn't know that at first. I had to work with him a few more times to get it. But it was simple things like doing returns. Like, I didn't know how to do it, so I would have to call him on the phone because he wasn't there. So I had to figure a lot of it out on my own as I went. And I didn't have any, like, hands-on, like I had hands-on training, but I basically trained myself because we were short-staffed as fuck. Like there was nobody that worked at that location and I wasn't aware of that. I just thought I was moving to another store and it was gonna be better, but it was a lot of problems when I first started. And I didn't know that there was no staff. Like even the girl that I met, she worked at the other store. And she was just working at our store because they closed that store down. They closed that store because they didn't have anybody. So she was only working at our store. It was just too much. Doesn't that sound crazy? Like that sounds fucking crazy. So fast forward maybe a few months, I'm getting into it. And it's hard, you know what I'm saying? At this time, the store is, the demographic is mostly Caucasian. You know, the only ethnicities that are different is me and the store manager was the same race as me. And when it came to me, I felt like I got treated a lot differently. And I got looked at a lot differently. And I got like a lot of microaggression. Like, oh, I thought you was just a customer type thing when you clearly see me moving around a store behind a register, like moving clothes, you know, and these things happen. You feel me? These things, I'm not saying this to say that these things don't happen at other locations or other brands or other like companies. This happens everywhere with sister girls and black men. Is people give us microaggression all the time, but it happens more often when it's in a true all white brand like Abercrombie, for instance. I worked there too. It was kind of the same thing. It's like if you don't like look exactly like the people that are in the visual guides, then they just treat you like you're anything. You know, a lot of that was happening, and it gets in you. Even though, you know, I'm a very confident person. I'm very confident. I'm sure of myself. But stuff like that, it gets to you. When people look down at you, when people look at you like you're just a blackie, you know what I mean? I got that look all the time, like, how can this black girl work here? Like, that's the way people would look at me all the time when I first started. They were not accepting of me at all. I felt it. I'm walking around with my fucking afro. At the time, my hair was a lot shorter. Diva, you feel me? Like, it's just like, they was not, I got curves and hips and, you know, and body and clear skin, you feel me? And they were just not accepting of that. So I had a really difficult time in the very beginning because it was hard for me to, like, you know, it's easy for people to be nice when you're doing something for them. Like, people, of course, was okay with me at the register because I was doing them a service. I was ringing them up. But it's different when you first walk into a store, you say, hey, how are you? And people are looking at you like, why is this stranger talking to me when I work here and you don't think I work here because I'm black. Like, it was a lot of that issue. I feel like after a while, people saw that I was consistent. I worked there all the time. And, you know, I still got that throughout my entire, like, work experience there. But this was before I had, like, people. You feel me? Like, after a while, I developed people. Like, I met some, don't get me wrong either, I met some of the most genuine, nice people, like, that I've ever met at this job. Like, people, as far as the customers, most of them are really, really nice, really genuine, really sweet, really kind, really thoughtful. But the ones that aren't are really bad, you know what I mean? And that hurts. It hurts when you're working all the time and people just looking at you like you don't belong, like you don't know that you black and it's an all white place. Like, so that was the vibe that I got in the beginning. The management was poor. So we're fast forwarding through October, through November. It's getting close to the holiday. And it's bad, you know what I'm saying? We had, at that point, we had 2 to 3 people, like, hired. So there was another sales lead. There was 2 sales leads other than me. And there was assistant manager. And he wasn't there very long, but I liked him too. Like, I liked all of the people that were there. Some more than others, of course, but with me, it's just a work ethic thing. It's like, if you don't have any work ethic, I ain't really gonna want to talk to you. For me, it was like, if I didn't like you, it's because I just didn't like that you didn't work. I didn't like that I felt like you was getting paid for doing nothing. So, you know, after a while, like, I was doing my job, but it was the same, you know what I mean? It wasn't anything exciting. It was just, I was just ringing people up, putting clothes away. Like, it was just basic level stuff. Doing returns, stuff like that, opening, closing consistently. I was late a few times or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not mentioning the fact that this job was far from where I lived and I was still willing to travel because I like this location more than the one that was a little closer to my house. I don't drive, so I caught the train and I walked home, and that was my routine, like, all the time. When I first started, I want to say I was probably working like 20, like, I can go back to, I have a lot of evidence. I have a lot of evidence of schedules that were made in the very beginning. I have a lot of evidence of, like, how much money I was making the company in the very beginning when I first started and everything. You know, fast forwarding a few months, I'm 6 months in, and we're short staffed. Like, the one sales lead that we had, other than me, she called out all the time. The other sales lead we had, she was great. I loved her. It wasn't really anything wrong with her. She had a specific availability, and he never really deterred from that. And the assistant manager, he was working more than me, but I felt like he was getting treated poorly by the store manager. Like, it was just a lot going on with that. Like, manager, he had mentioned to me, you know, after months that he wanted, after 3 months or 4, I'm used to that because I'm a hard worker, that he wanted to promote me to assistant manager. So I got more comfortable. I was good with guests. He was able to see that. Like, that was the best part of the job, was talking to guests. I didn't like doing anything else. I liked helping them, you know, with outfits, doing this, doing that, like making it a full experience. That was like my favorite part of the job. So I was like, bet, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, cool. I think that this is something I could do. Like, I'm moving up pretty quickly. I like that, you know what I'm saying? Past Black Friday, and that's just crazy. We're short-staffed as hell. Somebody had recently got fired from the other store. Giant, huge store. We were doing like thousands of dollars. Like, I mean, we was making so much money. Like, when I first got to the store, we was making so much money. It was so much money flowing. Like, every day, it was money flowing. Especially on the weekend. It was thousands of dollars. December comes, and me, the store manager, and the other sales lead, but she has limited availability. So it was just really me and the store manager, like all December. And we still, like, our store hours were like 10 to like 9 at this store. Like at the other store I worked, like it was 10 to 7. So I like that a lot better. That was more like I could work all day and not have an issue with that. But like working, you know what I'm saying? Like working from 10 a.m. to 9. Oh, I mean the store hours was so long. Everything was so long at this store. So it was a lot of things that were different. And it was more exhausting. Like giving up great energy, great vibes. It takes a lot of energy to be sales focused. Like I think that's what a lot of jobs just don't realize, is that it takes a lot of collaborative energy. But when you don't have the staff, then it's up to you. Like they make you feel extremely responsible for why you're not meeting sales goals when there's things going on in the world, economy, all these things are going on around us. And I'm still supposed to like break my neck to speak to someone that's just ignoring me because she don't want to talk. From the entire winter, we just kept losing people. I didn't see anybody getting hired. We just kept losing people. So then I get a call from the district manager at the end of December, and they tell me that my store manager just put in his 2 weeks, and I had no idea. So need I mind you, I'm in the store. A lot of the time when you're a sales lead, you're in the store by yourself. You don't really have relief until maybe the afternoon or so, until you can get a break. So I was just learning this news on the phone, like right when I first opened the store. So I'm trying to process everything as I'm like helping people and shit. And I'm freaking out because I'm just like, he just put in his 2 weeks. So he doesn't even call me, text me, nothing, tell me nothing. So I called him and was like, what is going on? Like, it's not even Christmas yet. He still stayed. I talked to him on the phone. He basically told me he had a better opportunity and that if I was him, I would take the opportunity. And he said, you know, and this is, you know, without the hindsight of me saying I didn't enjoy my time working under him. He wasn't the best manager as far as like communication and respectful communication. He was very like shady and disrespectful at times, and he talked down to you and made you feel like shit a lot of the time. So he was great with guests. He was great at doing like the visuals for the store, but he was not good at organizing the back room. And he was not good. Mostly all I cared about was how he treated us, and he was not good at that.